What is your earliest memory?
Yeah, the whole light dark thing, that was neat. Coming out of mom's womb. I remember that. It was great.
It was like it was yesterday, but it wasn't.
No, it was definitely, I would have to say, I remember I could walk, and I walked out because I wanted to be with Dad. So I walked out there to be with him, and he was working on something in the garage, like an electrical, I forgot what it was. But anyway, I remember walking out there and then just trying to be with him and like grab his tools and, you know, tear them up and stuff. It was great. Yeah, I remember that.
Most frightened you have ever been?
Most frightened I have ever been was probably the time that my wife was giving birth with our first child. She labored for 17 hours. She's so tiny and he was so big that, he wasn't going to come out. So anyway, they had to do an emergency C-section. And they kind of rushed them in and didn't let me kind of go in at first, and I was freaking out that I may lose them both. I was terrified. That was scary.
If you could change one thing about your life, what would it be?
I would have to say nothing. I know everybody says that, but it's true because when you fail, you learn from it. And again, there were so many times where I had these awesome plans for my life, and then if they did fall through, then I found out later that everything worked out 100 billion times better than I ever could have imagined. So I would honestly have to say nothing other than working out and not eating so many donuts and cheeseburgers and pizza and soups and everything else because I'm fat and out of shape. So that's what I would change. That. So I could work out. Be like, I'm going to do something. Yeah, that's
Most exciting day of your life?
most exciting day, I would have to say, there's like 3 or 4 things, but they all kind of the same thing. When my children were born, I would have to say, that was probably it. It really is awesome. And and then my wife getting married with her. Actually, it was pretty exciting when she even said yes to go on the first date. That was pretty neat because I'd been hounding her for so long. Yeah, kind of those events, family stuff. Yeah, I love my wife and kids. I'm blessed.
What is one thing you'd like people to remember about you?
I am not truly this way, but I wish I could imprint this in people's mind. I would like to be remembered as someone that was always giving and selfless, although I am selfish and a piece of trash. However, I don't want them to remember me that way. Matthew 22 says that, that they, after the Pharisees asked Jesus, what were the 2 greatest commandments, or what's the greatest commandment? He said, actually, there's 2, that if you love God with all your heart, your mind, and your soul, and then if you love other people. So we've got a family saying in our household called LG Pop-If. It means love God, put other people first. And I would love for people to remember me through LG Pop-If, or through that kind of.
What is your greatest talent?
My greatest talent. I can eat really well. A lot. That's a pretty good. No, I'm honestly one of the most least talented people you ever meet. I don't excel in anything. I am the very definition of mediocrity. But I do work hard. I'm one of the harder working people I know, and I'm not bragging, I'm just stating that. And so I would have to say maybe my hard work and maybe my fortitude, because I don't give up. I never give up. I'll bang my head against the wall 1,500 times. I'll keep trying. I don't care. I will never give up. So hard work will kind of never give up.
What life event strengthened you the most?
I would have to say when I got baptized. I was 10 years old, and that has strengthened me through everything. Because I know that Jesus is with me no matter what. He is my strength. He is my rock. I know that no matter how badly I screw up, He's still going to love me. And again, that kind of frees me up from peer pressure and everything. I could care less what people think. I really could. That annoys my wife. She's like, you need to be more gentle and kind of caring. And I'm like, well, I am gentle and caring, but I don't care what people think about it because I know he cares for me. So that has freed me up in life. So that strengthens me the most, knowing that, number one, I'm eternally saved. Number two, he accepts me no matter if anybody else does. So I don't have to do things like, when I was growing up, I didn't, drink in high school or nothing like that, and didn't do any drugs. So I didn't fall under that peer pressure because I didn't care what other people thought about me, because I knew ultimately their opinion doesn't matter. It's God's opinion. So that strengthened me, kind of freed me up.
What political or historical event has had the most impact on you personally?
Like I said, that's a tough one. I would probably have to say the election of Ronald Reagan, because he brought back conservative principles when our country was going downhill, and we need that badly now. But anyway, just the fact that not really him, but just the conservative principles that our country was founded upon. Hard work, and the biggest thing, political movement, if you want to say, is individualism. Okay? We do not have a democracy here. It is a representative republic or a constitutional republic. It's not a democracy. Democracy basically means that the mob rules, or the majority rules, and that if 51% of the people want something done, that's what it's going to do, and that's what's going to happen, even though it may not, or it may infringe upon your rights. But again, our country is founded on individual liberty. Okay, that was the big thing, and freedom. And I feel our country is completely getting that whole principle is encroaching on through the guise of public good.
What is the most important object you own and why?
Most important object I own. I don't technically own it. The bank does. My house, because it provides heating and cooling for my family and shelter for my family. So I guess that would have to be the main one. Yeah.
What made you want to be a teacher?
I always wanted to become a teacher, but I never thought I was good enough, to be completely honest with you. I didn't think I was good enough, smart enough, talented enough. And then for some reason, God just kind of put that in my mind, and then I went back to school after I'd already been in school, and I was an electrician. And I wanted to become a teacher more than anything, just to hopefully tell every single student that I come across that they're important, and that they were created for a purpose, and that they can do anything if they're willing to work hard enough. And it breaks my heart when I see students come in here every day that they don't believe in themselves, and they think that just because they don't have the right family, or they don't make the amount of money, or they may look different, or they may be a different race, they may be from a different socioeconomic background. None of that matters, because the reason I became a teacher is I want every single student to know how freaking awesome they are. So that's why I became a teacher.